Welcome to Kenneth O'Neal's Word of the Week. Each week, Kenneth will discuss a word which describes a principle or value of the qualities of success. Use the word of the week in your thoughts, deeds, and actions. You can replace a good habit with a bad habit. You can use it as an action step. Kenneth O'Neal will bring you a word of the week each week, and it will help you to improve your life, your relationships, your professional career, and your overall well-being. I know you'll enjoy Word of the Week with Kenneth O'Neal. Kenneth O'Neal is a certified Zig Ziglar trainer and the head of O'Neal Consulting in Kerrville, Texas. Today's Word of the Week is grayness. I know you'll enjoy this episode.
It is Monday, everybody, and on Monday, we get a chance to chat with Mr. Wordsmith.
And we do have a word this week.
Yes, Kenneth O'Neal, ladies and gentlemen, and he brings us a word every week and kind of expounds on the word and what we should do with it and how we should incorporate it in our thinking and speech and all of the things that go along with being able to talk.
I always suggest that they write it down and use it during the week, because the reason for doing this is to share life and life experiences. And this week, I tell you what, we've come up with a controversial word.
And you have spent all weekend with this one.
I have.
Okay.
And I actually have some life experiences in this, because this word actually comes from my journey of writing this new book called The Great Debate, about 6 topics that a lot of people don't want to talk about.
Right.
The word for the week is grayness. Grayness. And it's spelled, because it's in America, Grayness. And some people, especially from Great Britain, they would spell the word with an E. Greyness. And the word, I found it in the ancient writings, and it originated in the Middle English in 1398. And it means...
Wow, you did do some research.
I finally found the scroll. No, not really. But it's an
tablet is what it was,
what?
Right? It was a tablet, right?
It was written in stone. It was signed by Moses. No, I don't know. Now we're just being funny. An intermediate, vaguely defined position or condition. Okay, very vaguely defined. It is a space. It's a mindset where ambiguity and complexity lives. Grayness is not a mere compromise between black and white. It is actually a blend. It's a spectrum of possibilities where those two extremes, black and white,
Come together.
They come together. They coexist in grayness.
Something our politicians should...
I told you this is going to be a controversial word.
Yeah.
Okay, it is the space of uncertainty, but it creates balance, and it gives transition. So it conveys a mood and the depth of situations and issues. Now, in art, which grayness affects everything, but in art, is where you get the depth of the art, the mood that the art would put you in, like a great picture that has been painted, the Mona Lisa. And in philosophy, it represents complexity and open-mindedness. All right, so we got two great extremes, black and white, but we've got this grayness in the middle. It is where real decisions have to be made, and there are real subtle considerations between absolutes. So life is represented in black and white, right and wrong, good and evil. And we are conditioned in our life to seek clarity in trying to define things in absolute. As I said, the spelling is different and the way it's used is different. Now, whenever we're talking about grayness, there are at least 4 things that come up in this space. That's ethics, morality, politics, and relationships. And all of these things dwell in the middle ground. To embrace grayness is to acknowledge that life is filled with contradictions. But it requires, this black and white world we live in, it requires the courage, the boldness to sit with the uncertainty, to navigate complexities without jumping to judgment. Those who operate in the gray space seek wisdom rather than absolute certainty.
Oh, yeah. For
They
sure.
ask questions instead of demanding answers. A black and white world, and if that is the mindset that we have, can lead to rigidity. It's my way or the highway, while embracing gray allows for adaptation and growth. Remember, we say you can love and care for somebody, you can disagree, but you can still love them,
Oh, sure.
okay?
Oh, for sure. You can, there's lots of things. Politics, for instance, or...
Well,
You
in
can disagree,
relationships
yeah.
especially.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean,
Okay, so seeing gray in another person, in other words, if you see this person is open-minded, they're willing to have a conversation, and that's where I have, in the last 2 years, when I started working on this book and trying to have conversations with people, to communicate with them, be a better communicator, not just a public speaker, but be a better communicator. Now, when you see it in other people, it fosters compassion. See, you and I, we're kind of in this area here.
yeah,
All right.
you know.
But I recognize, I appreciate your openness and willingness. It actually creates passion for us having this discussion. So we understand that in life, there are different perspectives. And what we want to do, we actually want to build a bridge. Don't build barricades and walls between people. So we have to look at this idea. And being in the gray creates, one of the greatest words there is forgiveness. Forgiveness. Growth and deeper connections. It teaches us that one action does not define a person. I've been working with a guy who spent 4 years in prison. And the thing we talk about the most is he's come to the point that his mistakes in the past do not define him.
No.
And so in over a year of coaching with him, he continues to evolve. He gets better and better. The true essence of life exists. It lives in grayness. Black and white thinking, it gives us a certain amount of comfort.
Well, they're barriers.
Yeah, so black and white is really just simple. If you got black, you got white. All right. But we should embrace our ambiguity, for when you're in the grayness, the richness, that's when the richnesses of human experiences come to play.
Yep.
So in depth, grayness is deep. It's not an indecision, though. It's the bridge between the extremes. And that's what black and white is. Now, real quickly, so I'm going to give you a couple of words. I sat down and I said, okay, let's compare black to white to gray. So black, what do we think about when we talk about a black? It's unknown. It's negative. It's a hardship. It's absence of hope. There's sadness. There's fear. It's pessimism.
The black hole.
The black hole, that's right, wherever that is. There is no room for ambiguity or compromise in black. But white, look at white. Clarity, peace, innocence, opposite of black. Light, truth, new beginnings. A sense of calmness. Now that's what white stands for. Now let's look at the positive characteristics of gray. It's a blend of black and white. It represents balance, neutrality.
Yep.
There is some ambiguity, but it suggests in a grayness life, it suggests that life is not always clear. It's not always divided into good or bad, right or wrong. It is a complex spectrum of opportunities and possibilities. That's what Ziegler said. He said, look for the good and take advantage of your opportunities when they come to you. Take advantage of them. Life is seen where there are compromises and shades of meaning that require understanding, tolerance, and acceptance that we are imperfect. So looking at all three lenses shows often there's more than what meets the eye. Truth is somewhere between those extremes. And like you said, it comes up that a major time to use this grayness is in politics.
Oh, yeah.
And
Throw in a little
black
comment.
and white thinking is like absolute. The gray areas, what is relative. So what we must do, in closing here, seek truth with wisdom, balance, take on these absolute principles, but take on the understanding that life is complicated.
Understatement. Kenneth O'Neal, ladies and gentlemen. If you'd like to chat with him or express some opinion, you can get a hold of him. It's merger@windstream.net.
Got it.
Or your hello Dingwa, your telephone.
830-285-7010. And you can just text me and we can hook up and have coffee And if you're a business person, we actually have about 120-point assessment that we'll do on your personal and your professional life. And that's all complimentary, so just call and ask for it.
Yep, that's all you got to do. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. The word grayness for the week, and we'll see you next week, same time, same place.
Yes, sir.
The wordsmith, Mr. Kenneth O'Neal.
This is Tom Fox, and I'm a co-founder of the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network. If you've enjoyed this podcast and you would like to talk to us about getting your own podcast on the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network, we'd love to talk to you. So you can reach us at our website, through our website, the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network. Word of the Week with Kenneth O'Neal is our latest podcast, and we will present Kenneth's word each week going forward. They will be insightful, they will be useful, they will be important, and can be a significant increase of all aspects of your life going forward. I hope you'll subscribe, rate, and review this podcast wherever great podcasts are listened to. This is Tom Fox. Thank you so much for listening.